Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Sports. This is a quick one. Um, so Dillian Whyte, who was due to be fighting on the undercard of Joshua Ruiz 2. Now the opponent was meant to be Charles Martin, but I understand Charles Martin's been pulled off of that card and is still instead will be on the Tank Davis Gamboa bill. So Dillian Whyte now needs to find another opponent because Charles Martin has decided to go and fight on the Tank Davis Gamboa bill. So that's the information that I've got coming out. I got it early this morning from the States. I had a few telephone calls from a few people. And yeah, that's the information I got. So we'll just wait to see what's happening there. Who Dillian Whyte will now be fighting. I thought Charles Martin versus Dillian Whyte would have been a good fight. And the way Sky were resurrecting Charles Martin, I suspected that Charles Martin and Dillian Whyte would be the fight to make because that's how Sky operate. If somebody's gonna fight on Sky, and you haven't heard from them for a while, they sort of resurrect them. And where are they now, Sonny? And then you start seeing their face pop up on Sky. So, that's just the information to let you know what is up with that. So Dillian Whyte, I guess now is probably scrambling around to find an opponent because obviously Charles Martin was a southpaw, Dillian Whyte's an orthodox. So is there possibly if he get a southpaw opponent to fight, or who else could Dillian Whyte fight now or short notice in Saudi Arabia? Let me think. Christian Hammer. Uh, Christian Hammer's a possibility. I'm thinking fighters. Um, Heavyweights. God, I don't know. I haven't really thought about guys who Dillian Whyte could fight. Um, yeah, who could Dillian Whyte fight that people would want to watch now? Uh, Wonder what Brian Jennings is doing. Brian Jennings. I mean, I know he's training at the moment. Brian Jennings and Dillian Whyte. That'd be a good fight for Saudi Arabia. Jennings is always in good shape. So Brian Jennings, that would be a good fight. And there's been some needle in the past between Brian Jennings and Dillian Whyte. So that would make a good fight, but I might need more promotion for it. Um, Josie Parker's talking about wanting a fight, and oh no, but you couldn't do that because Josie Parker's already fought Dillian Whyte, so that's not going to happen. So he's out of the picture. Usyk's not going to want to take the fight because clearly, um, who'd be a decent fight for him actually? What's his name? Not Dominic Brazil, the other guy. Oh, I can see him now. Tall like Dominic Brazil. He can fight well for about 3 rounds and then backs voluntary to ropes. Washington. Gerald Washington. Gerald Washington versus Dillian Whyte. Make that fight for Saudi Arabia. Gerald Washington. Dillian Whyte. That's a fight to make. That's a decent fight to make, actually. Who else? What's Molina doing with himself? Is he available? Who else? Joey DeWaco. Joey DeWaco and Dillian Whyte. I wonder if Gassiev would want to be a part of Dillian Whyte. Who else? I'm wondering who else would want to fight Dillian Whyte. Don't know. But there's a couple of guys that come to mind that could take the fight with Dillian Whyte. But Brian Jennings seems a guy that, you know, that'd be a good fight for that card, actually. Brian Jennings. Yeah, it'd be a good fight. Be a good fight. Let me think who else. Just needs a tick over fight, Dillian Whyte. Who else is around? I don't know if there's anybody else around that would want to fight Dillian Whyte. I don't know off the top of my head. Don't know. God, Think of the heavyweight top 10. I'm thinking, guys. Tom Schwartz, maybe? Tom Schwartz could fight Dillian Whyte. Or what's the other guy's name? Yeah, Tom Schwartz. Tom Schwartz, Dillian Whyte. Saudi Arabia. Why not? Wonder what Tom Schwartz is doing. Yeah. You're looking for a filler now, to be honest. So you're looking for a filler for somebody who would fight Dillian Whyte on short notice. Who else? You know who else? Vac? Maybe Vac. Marius Vac. Ustinov. I mean, they're guys just to fit in, innit? Just to fill in. I think Christian Hammer would be a good fight. Christian Hammer would be definitely a good fight. Adamek. Are you serious? Adamek? Well, yeah, but is Adamek still fighting? In that case, why don't you just bring out Antonio Tarver and play Steve Cunningham? Who else? Thinking, who else can you pull up? Yo Ingram, enjoyed your AJ video yesterday. Prolific genius in the room. Ike vs Otto Walling. Yeah, Otto Walling. There you go. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much for the video. Yes, listen. While I'm at it, listen. There's some people in the comment section that want their 2 seconds of glory by insulting me. Somehow they said, well, I'm ignorant. I'm not ignorant. I've been talking about this for the last two and a half years. I've been talking about the AJ story, right? I've been talking about AJ story for two and a half years. And I've been saying to you all along the flaws and the issues with AJ. I'm not just come out of the blue and talked about it. I gave an in-depth breakdown to Ruiz Joshua, the first fight. But I get a few ignoramuses that come past my channel, and I've taken the time to do breakdown videos. I've taken the time to explore each fighter, and I get ignoramuses that come through, just pass through, and they basically troll the channel. I know they do, because they've got nothing better to do with their lives. But they come across and they leave their message, and they like things like, oh, you're ignorant, oh, you're bitter. No, I'm not bitter. I mean, for you to make an assessment and say that I'm bitter means that you know something about me that I don't know about myself. I just try and, you see, the problem is with people like myself that talk it straight and try and tell it like it is, unfortunately, when you watch Sky, and I've said it yesterday, I'll say it again, the gloves are off with Bellew, Froch, Hay, Nelson and Malignaggi. For the most part, it's company men talking about a company man. And if company men are going to talk about a company man, there's no way the company men are going to talk about their boss in a derogatory fashion. Your AJ video was great. They're not. They're simply not going to do that. They're not. You've been calling out AJ's flaws for years, to be fair. I have. I've been calling them out. But listen, people think that I'm just hating an AJ. I think people got a short memory. Do they forget my back and forth with Deontay Wilder when I told him he was fighting garbage opponents? Did people forget that? Did they? Are their minds so short? I know you've got some jolly come lately people that come through the channel now, but have people forgot that? How I said to Deontay, listen, and I had him on the channel, and the level of his opponents. And then I said, once he becomes champion, I'll respect what he's doing. So people forget that. Go back and look at my earlier videos on what I was saying about Deontay Wilder. And if you go and listen to my breakdown of Deontay Wilder and Luis Ortiz, I give the fors and I give the against. I talk about their styles. I break their styles down. I say, well, this is where he's strong and this is where he's weak. But no. Because see, these AJ fans, they are sick. Some of them, sick because I think to myself, well, hold on, why do you have to get personal if I'm just doing a breakdown video? There's nothing to get personal about. The guy looks basically unhinged. If you really cared about AJ, you'd be concerned about him now. He looks unhinged. He looked completely unhinged. Oh, and by the way, here's a myth I want to dissolve once and for all. Again, all these people about AJ losing weight, these real smart asses who talk about AJ losing weight, just take a look at his fight in the World Championships where he didn't have all that muscle. And tell me if you looked any better against the guy in the World Championships. AJ is slimmer in the World Championships, right? He's slimmer. So there's your example. There's your blueprints of AJ. Not much has changed. Yeah, I probably will. Not much has changed. Not much has changed. So the fundamentals are still there with AJ, or how he was flawed dead in the amateurs. And watch how the guy walks AJ back to the ropes. Short guy walks AJ back to the ropes and then gives him a hell of a shellacking against the ropes. AJ still up to this day doesn't know what to do when a guy backs him to the ropes, when a guy puts pressure on him. He just doesn't. So all these wise people think about the weight loss. Go back and look at when he didn't have the weight packed on him. Was he that great a boxer then? No. Was he a jab and mover and you know, was he moving around the ring like Ali? No, he wasn't. So for all these people now who think that suddenly AJ is going to try and be Muhammad Ali, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, and move around the ring, that's not his nature. And for all these people think that the Parker fighting like Parker and Ruiz are two different fighters. First of all, Ruiz has been fighting much longer than Parker. 1, 2, Ruiz has got more experience than Parker. 3, Ruiz is a swarmer. He's short and squat and swarms. Parker likes to get on the back foot and box and throw punches in combinations off the back foot. He's a taller guy. Ruiz is at 6'2", Parker's at 6'4". Yeah, I did. I'm just talking about the Sky Roundtable. What do you want me to say about it? Company men talking about a company man. That's all it is. Keep it in the real realm that it is. Nobody's going to talk out of line and say Joshua's going to get battered. But I guarantee if you had Tyson Fury in there, of course, Hay was reluctant. Of course he's reluctant. But then Hay's not a dumb guy. Hay's trying to keep himself cushy with AJ. He doesn't know what's going to happen in the future. Yeah, well, no, yeah, but Hay don't want to get involved with that, man. He don't want to get involved with that. Hay wants to play. Hay just wants to stay, you know, because out of all those guys there, think about it. How many of them are still promoting? How many of them are still promoting? Think about it. Frotch ain't promoting no one. Belly ain't promoting no one. Nelson ain't promoting anyone. And Malignaggi ain't promoting no one. So the only one there who's got a career outside of commentating is David Hay. And he's a promoter. So really, does he really want to be making certain statements that are going to come back to haunt him later? If there's a possibility that AJ and Hay can make business together later, would you really want to be saying that AJ is going to get beat? I mean, just for business purposes. So I get it. I understand it. And I understand what situation Hay is in. But you know what? If I'm Hay and say, you know what? I'm not sitting around this round table. I'm not available. I'm not well. I'm going on holiday. I wouldn't do it. Because that's in some ways, he might say it's a conflict of interest. He might say it's a conflict of interest. And that might be the case. So the only guy around that table who really has to kind of keep the boat sort of like level is David Hay. Hay pull out? Nah. Indeed. AJ's time is up. He might well be. But he looks disheveled. I don't want anybody to tell me afterwards, AJ didn't look right. AJ hasn't looked right. He looks like a guy that's had his soul taken from him. Remember I said to you about James DeGale? And I said to you, since the Badu Jack fight, DeGale looks as if his soul has been taken by Badu Jack. Then I told you, the guy, I can't remember our boy again, who went along and beat James DeGale to become world champion. I said, James DeGale is finished. Finished. Another guy, I'm going to tell you who's finished. I hate to say it because he's one of my favourite fighters. It's Carl Frampton. He's finished. Finished. At top level. I love Carl Frampton. I hate to say this. But I think he's finished. I just think there's something missing with Frampton now. He's moving up in weight again. No, not for me. Not for me. And I love Frampton. But he just, there's something missing with Frampton now. And I don't know what it is. Actually, when I saw him fight Warrington, I was like, wow. Then I saw him fight Donaire as well. Donaire fight? Was it Donaire fight he fought? I wasn't impressed with him either. Frampton coming of quite arrogant of late. You mean of late? Listen, Frampton's always had an opinion, hasn't he? Carl Frampton has always had an opinion. He has always had an opinion. He's always had something to say. I remember when he was talking about Eddie Hearn. He didn't like Eddie Hearn. So Frampton's always had something to say, to be fair. So it's nothing new. Nothing new at all. Hey, while I'm in the room and I've got a couple of minutes, ask your questions, fire away, or bring up a topic. Yeah. I'm saying it again. I'm putting the warning out again. Listen to me carefully when I say this. Lawrence Okoli and Joshua Buatsi, those are two guys. Those are two guys that are going to get flatlines very soon. And I'm not hating. The danger side, the red flags were there with Okoli's last fight and Buatsi's last fight. Buatsi getting caught with them overhand rights all the time and not being able to adjust. And Okoli getting tagged by that guy who, I don't know what kind of European champion he was. Those two guys need to really watch their careers. I see both of them getting flatlines soon. I'm telling you. If they don't make career changes in terms of how they go about technically their boxing careers, they're going to get flatlined. Who has the most potential? Well, you have to say, based on achievement so far, Okoli. British, Commonwealth, European, you've got to say Okoli. Cody's built for a sensational knockout. Cody reminds me very much of Henry Akinwande. Go back and watch Henry Akinwande and go and watch Lawrence Okoli. When he gets hit, watch when Lawrence Okoli gets hit. He's got a rabbit in the headlights look. And I don't know what's happened with Okoli, but he looks like a guy who whom has been knocked out in sparring and doesn't trust his chin. Who do I think will win between Wilder and Fury? Well, let's see what Wilder does against Ortiz first. Because it's important to see. I want to see improvements from Wilder. That's the first thing. So if you were to blast Luis Ortiz out there in the first 4 or 5 rounds, I'll put it this way. We know if Wilder hits Fury on the chin, Fury goes over. We also know that Fury was getting hit a hell of a lot against Otto Wallin. And you've got to say to yourself, if he's allowed to get hit, the amount of times that Wilder, that the Otto Wallin hit Fury, then, 2 and 2 will make 4. Fury's lack of head movement and Wilder's right hand and Fury's allergies to Wilder's right hand, it doesn't bode well. I don't think Tyson Fury has much left as a boxer, and I think he knows it. I think a lot was taken out of Tyson Fury in that fight against Wilder. Let's also take into consideration the struggle Fury had to get back into boxing. And let's also talk about Fury's career where he's been blown up and down in weight, up and down in weight, up and down in weight. All that stuff ages a fighter very quickly. It starts to take its toll. It really does. So that is Fury's trying to take over and keep himself in shape all the time and not blow up in weight anymore. So he didn't look after his body earlier on in his career, and now it's catching up with Fury. You know, when a man starts getting cut in his face like the way Fury gets cut, that's because of the stretch, the constantly the skin being stretched from blowing up in weight and losing weight, blowing up in weight and losing weight, blowing up in weight and losing weight. You watch Ricky Hatton, constantly blowing up in weight and losing weight, blowing up in weight, losing weight. That the elasticity in the skin goes, so you're more vulnerable to getting cut. Plus, these guys that like to dehydrate and pull themselves down and weight, that's what happens with the skin. That's where they easily get cut. And those are all the signs right there of a guy's career that is on nosediving. Fury's not going to get any better. He's not going to get any better. I don't want to hear that about Fury's cheekbones being high. It's got nothing to do with cheekbones. It's got to do with the fact of science and health, and if you keep if you keep stretching something all the time, stretching it, the elasticity in it, you're putting pressure all the time, stress all the time. Of course, it's going to snap eventually. So it's got nothing to do about Fury and his high cheekbones. It's just body. You're losing weight and gaining weight. Dehydration and rehydration. That's what that's down to. There's a science behind that. And when you mess around with science, this is what happens to you. You know? Oh yeah, I'm going to come back. What do you agree with Hayes saying AJ don't have enough hard sparring? Yeah, I do. But I'm not surprised. No, not now. Sorry. Not now. What? Yeah, no, I don't. I think hard sparring is important, and I don't believe if AJ's the boss in his camp, then I can believe that. Well, what does hard sparring equal to AJ? The reports never seem good. Do you think Tyson will get up if Wilder hits him with one of them shots again? If he's at 220 or 225, Fury don't get up. 220, 225, he don't get up. Remember, he was 215. No. What are these people doing? Hold on a second. Sorry, people. Got people deciding to call me while I'm live. I don't understand it. Oh, sorry about that telephone call coming through. People trying to contact me while I'm live. Okay, yeah. You have to do hard sparring. But hard sparring, I'm not sure. Let me get my battery charger here. I'm not sure, honestly, people, if... There we go. I'm not sure, people, if hard sparring... I'm not sure if hard sparring... I wonder what goes in AJ's camps, because if he's constantly getting knocked out in sparring and getting hurt in sparring, that can't be right. So the only time he don't get hurt is when he's doing technical sparring. That cannot be right, people. No part of that can be right. You're constantly getting knocked out in sparring, constantly getting hurt in sparring. Not good. What's the point of taking Takam in for sparring if you're not going to make use of his toughness? Because you can take a photograph of him afterwards and say you sparred Carlos Takam, and he can smile and pose up with people and say, yeah, I sparred Carlos Takam. That's why. I think, if Hayes going to turn around and say that about Anthony, well, what that makes sense to me is if Hayes going to turn around and blow the lid on Anthony Joshua's sparring and his training camp, then he may as well turn around and say Anthony Joshua's going to get beat. But I don't know if he's trying to keep his Sky contract cool. And he probably has known other people that have opened up their mouth a bit too wide on Sky and no longer working there. Some people think they were above the law, or felt that they were invincible, or felt that they had a permanent slot at Sky, and they're no longer there because they opened their mouth and talked a bit too much. So, and for that, I got no sympathy, because you knew what it was about before you got in there. Okay, who else is asking questions? Ruiz needs to win for the sake of boxing. Yeah, he does, because you really don't want AJ to have that belt back in that sense, because you know what we've been through with it before. Hey, too big for Sky to sack him. Nah. If they can sack Glenn McCrory, if they can get rid of Ian Dark, if they can get rid of Jim Watt, they can get rid of David Hay. They can get rid of David Hay. Always been on Darren Barker or Spencer Oliver. You know what I mean? They can bring them guys in, or Matthew Macklin. You know, or George Groves. They always bring them guys in. So, I don't believe so. I don't believe so. The Sky not short of bringing people in who will just be company people. So that's what it is. Any other questions while we're at it? Come on, let's get these Q&As in. Get your questions in. Got a couple of minutes, so let's a few more minutes. Let's get these questions in. If there's no more questions, I shall disappear, because we're only just about Dillian Whyte. No more questions? Ian Dark, man. That's a bad man. That's a bad man right there. Yeah, Prince Wilder, mate. Let me ask you a quick question. FM 2020 or PS 2020? Let me know, and I will start either the career on FM 20, or I will continue with PS 2020. Let me know what your thoughts on that, and then I will definitely push on with it. Let me know which one I should do. Yeah, I think that's about it, really. I don't got anything else to say. I am really going to be interested. What do you think of Loma saying he didn't ask for franchise? What's he meant to say? What's he meant to say? If he turns around and says he asked for the franchise belt, he's going to look like it. He's going to look bad. So he was given a franchise belt. So why didn't he turn it away? Why didn't he turn it away? Why didn't he make a statement and say, you know what? If Devin Haney wants the championship, he said, come and get it. If he wants it, come and get it. Why didn't Lomachenko say that? Haney was all talking and calling his mouth out. So why didn't Lomachenko take the fight? FM 20, okay. And who do we start with? Who do we start with on FM? Yes, Prince. Who do we start with? Yes, Danny. Who do you want me to start with? No, I'm still waiting for Kenny to deliver that. He said he'll do that at Christmas. You know Kenny. You know Kenny. Well, no Kenny. It's at Christmas time, so we'll have to wait until December for him to come up with something else. But I think he was shocked. He was shook at what happened. He should have stayed quiet, but why speak up when it can be proved false? Yeah, that's true. Arsenal. Start with Arsenal. Okay, fair enough. I'll load up FM 20. I'll get it all booted up and try and get the new skins for it, and get the face packs, and I'll get it going. So it'll be Arsenal. Canelo hasn't come out saying he didn't ask for it, or no. Well, he's smart. But you got 300 million, you don't care. You know, and I don't really think Canelo wants the heat of a Charlo fight, to be honest. You know, a fight I wouldn't mind watching is Eubank versus Canelo. I really wouldn't mind watching that fight. Because when Canelo stops boxing, I'd like to know what Eubank does. If Eubank can get up in Canelo's grill, when Canelo stops, Eubank on him, I think that's a fascinating fight. A fascinating fight. I'm not saying Eubank wins, but he's got work rate, he's got guts, he's got endurance. He's fearless, and he doesn't care about losing. So when Canelo stops, I tell Eubank keep coming. So technically, he's not as good as Canelo, but that heart and the will to win and the ferocity he's got, I'd love to see that fight. Love to see that fight. I'd faster watch that fight than watch Charlo, because Charlo can box. I know Canelo can box, but yeah, but the thing is, Canelo's got an evident flaw where he doesn't allow, where he breaks off in fights. That's why I would like to see Eubank just getting into him. And then I would like to see Charlo fight Gennady Golovkin. That's a fight I would see. But think Canelo times him soon enough. Yeah, he might do. He might do, but to time him means that he's got to engage. And if he's got to engage, he's getting something back from Eubank. Because he's not cruising through Eubank. He's not cruising through Eubank like he cruised through Rocky Fielding. No. Eubank come to fight. And he don't want to be an outcast from his dad, so he's going to have to keep up the Eubank name. So, the only thing about that fight is I think the press conferences would be boring. Because Canelo just switched to going to Mexican. And Eubank will just talk. He's talking what he's saying. Whereas a Charlo Eubank press conference would be good. And a Eubank GGG press conference would be great. Because Eubank, can you imagine a face-off between Eubank Jr.? Imagine face-off. Instead of putting David Lemieux there, putting Chris Eubank Jr. there. And when GGG was looking at David Lemieux. Imagine that. Man, listen. I could build great fights, you know. I could build great fights. And I could build great entertainment. Just let me have a chance, man. I'll build great fights and great entertainment. Do you imagine when GGG was looking at Lemieux? Charlo GG would have been Jacobs GGG. Should have been. Yeah, that's it. Man. I'll shout out to my man Mahib Fazldin, who's now joined with Tunde Ajayi. Shout out to him for that. Great stuff. Shout out to Tunde doing his stuff as always. Massive shout out to him as well. Great stuff for Tunde. Always positive. I like the positive energy. Had a talk with Uncle Bashir last night. That was great. Spoke to Stavern last night. That was great. Spoke to Michael Hunter as well. Shout out to Michael Hunter. Big up Michael Hunter. Big up your chest. Yeah, so I spoke to quite a few fighters last night about some stuff. And I forgot to tell you all. Tonight, guess what's happening? We got a lady in the house tonight. We have, from America, Ms. Boxing. So she's usually seen on Beverly Rose's channel. Shout out to Mr. Boxing today as well. When you get a chance, subscribe to his channel. Yeah. Check it out tonight. So Miss Boxing's gonna be in, and there's a lady, a young lady, who is about to turn pro, and Asgar was boosting her, bigger her up. I'm waiting to hear back from her. So I'm looking to see if she can get her on the channel as well, to get an exclusive with her. So we can get the ladies in the room tonight. That would be great. So check out Miss Boxing tonight. That might be around 11:30, 12 o'clock tonight. Any thoughts on the Golden Contact competition? Don't know yet, and I haven't really looked too deeply into it, but I will do, and when I do, I'll talk to you about it. But by the way, remember I told you about the PBC belt? Who said it couldn't happen? And I told you why they did that WBC franchise belt. They tried to get out before the PBC belt. Yeah? Listen, I am saying now, thank you to Al Heyman. Al, I know you're watching the videos. Just want to let you know, I'll see you soon. So yeah, I mean, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, so I'll be back later. Thoughts on 25 pay-per-views? Well, think about it this way. What I want to know is this. Those pay-per-views being with Matchroom, right? How many pay-per-view stars have Matchroom got? For the best promoter in the world, according to some, he ain't the best promoter in the world. How many pay-per-view stars have you got? Homegrown. How many pay-per-view stars you got? And what have you done for potential guys who are close to pay-per-view stars? It can happen, but just skeptical about it. Successful fans. How many? How many? How many? Ruined AJ. Ruined AJ. Ruined Brooke. Who else have they ruined? There's probably a whole load of them. 2 million just where politics can come into. Okay. Yeah, just ruined a lot of their fighters. Ruined them. Not because they're testing them. There's a difference between testing a fighter and bad management. And what you've got there is bad matchmaking. That's what it is. AJ getting cashed out like a lady on the night. Yep. Adam Smith said the YouTube fight made him raise the pay-per-view to £25. What? 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 Hey, listen. I said, hey, Adam, rewind and come again, selector. Say that again. £25 for what? Hey, listen. If you want me to pay pay-per-view, then get me some decent commentary. And you need to come off the mic. You need to come off the mic. You and your by yourself, you need to come off the mic. And all your current cohort of company men need to come off the mic. And you need to get people in. If you're going to make us pay £25, at least give us the truth. Give us the truth. Give us the truth. Yeah? Well, no. They threw GGG under the, Brooke under the bus. But I told her, I said that I suggested that to her. I said, you're throwing Brooke under the bus, aren't you? You're throwing Brooke under the bus. So, which he did. And he threw AJ under the bus. He threw AJ under the bus. He threw AJ under the bus. What manager or promoter in their right mind is going to stick you in with a guy who stylistically is a complete nightmare for you? You're telling me there was nobody else in the world that AJ could have fought but Andy Ruiz. And you couldn't see Andy Ruiz was a threat. You could not see Andy Ruiz was a threat. Arrogance. That's what that is. Arrogance. I heard another story as well. I don't know how true this is, but AJ is a freelancer. That's what I heard. I don't know how true it is. So I don't know how true it is. AJ Boxing he's signed to. So I don't know how true that is. But you know something? I will tell you this much, boxing fans. There is a trend that happens within our country that we take our sports stars very high and we put them onto levels that are unreachable to the mortal man. We make our stars into gods. And then we topple them. Like they enjoy it. The press get on and say he's the best thing since sliced bread. And then they topple them. And then they bury them. And then they resurrect their careers. Look at Beckham. I keep giving you examples. Look at Beckham. Look what they did to Beckham. They broke that boy. And then they brought him back. You can't hear a bad word said about Beckham now. Beckham's like Teflon now. He talked about Beckham and his affairs. It's only David, isn't it? It's only David. So, that's how it goes. So, look at Tyson Fury. Look what they did to Tyson Fury. Look what they kicked in when he was down and out. And look where Fury is now. So, prove to me they're not going to try and do the same thing with AJ. I don't know if AJ can fight his way out of the situation, but it says here. It says here. He was the original one of late of how Eddie did O'Hara. Well, yeah. I wish the news of the world was still about. Can't wait for the dirt to come up on AJ. I will always be a god. Oh dear. Yeah, yeah. That's why you want people to bow before you. I got it. Yeah. You don't have to wait. It ain't long. It isn't long. It isn't long. Because I'm telling you, I've said it ain't happened yet. But when they bury him, they're gonna bury him good and proper. I'm telling you, it's coming. I predicted this way back with the Parker fight. Remember after the Parker fight, I told you the British public are gonna turn on AJ. Tried and tested method to sell. Yep, that's it. That's it. That's it. You know what I mean? So I can imagine what's going to happen. You know, the typical Saturday night. I was joking about it earlier with another friend of mine. He's like, "Yeah, see what AJ's going to do tonight, mate. Yeah, got a couple of guys around for a bit of a laugh. Yeah, £25. We'll watch AJ do the business, innit? We'll watch AJ do the business. He's one of ours. AJ's one of our guys. You know what I mean? He's one of our geezers. He's one of the lads. AJ is." Right? My man gets beat up. Flipping AJ. I'll waste time on AJ, but I paid £25 for this crap. I paid £25 for this crap, mate. AJ, you're garbage. You're not one of us. You're a disgrace, mate. You're a disgrace. Wait. Someone has a lot of dirt on Femi on a hard disk somewhere. Well, that's it. That's it. And I'm not... Listen, I listen to me. I want people to get something categorically clear here. I have nothing. I've got no issue with AJ. I've got no issue with AJ, the man who's in the sport to do the business. I've got no problems with that. But fundamental errors being cleaned up by spin doctors. The minute you got knocked out by Ruiz, you should have been looking, even before the Ruiz fight, you should have been looking to make adjustments. You know when AJ may think about making the changes significantly to his career? When he gets knocked out again. Hey, at least AJ will look better this fight. Different drug testing. Oh boy. Listen. That's not gonna... Listen. My boy, Larry, the War Machine, Larry Alibamewu, right? Did he have every drug put in the system? No longer British, back to being Nigerian. Oh, yeah. Well, that's another thing. In the newspapers, it won't be Britain's Anthony Joshua. It'll be British-born Nigerian Anthony Joshua. That's what it is. That's what it is. You know, I used to say back in there with the cricket, yeah? When you were winning, you were British. And then when you were losing, you were of Caribbean descent. Same old tactics, same old people, same old garbage. Right. All right. I'm out of here. Are you suspicious that Whyte is banned to fight in the UK? Where did they say Eddie has talked of Whyte's return in the States or Saudi? Mate, I don't know the ins and outs of that Whyte situation. But what I do know, something ain't right. It ain't right at all. Ain't right at all. Yeah, it ain't right at all. Whyte is tarnished for life. Danny, I'm sure he was talking Diana Ball. I don't know. I can't really answer that, and I really don't want to get into it because I don't know myself the ins and outs. But it's interesting. Like I said before, Dillian Whyte was doing a lot of talking about AJ's career and what AJ was doing, and AJ this and AJ that, and his career got shut down. And then who else was talking that stuff? Joseph Parker and Drew Miller. Joseph Parker took back his comments. Drew Miller again got caught as a drug cheat. Amazing. The two guys that opened their mouths openly about AJ are the two guys that got caught as drug cheats. White better not mention juicing in boxing again. There you go. Dillian Whyte is juicing like, oh yeah, well, I know. That's it. So we'll watch the replay. Dillian Whyte was juicing like a track star from the 88 Olympics. So I don't know about all that. But what I do know is if you open your mouth up and you Dynaball, I mean, you can order that crap from China and make it in your house. Oh dear. All I'm saying is this. If you talk about the golden child, that's what happens. That's what happens. Right, I'm going to get out of here. I'll see you all later. By the way, please do go across bwtmonline.com. Check it out. Have a look on there. Have a look at the website. That's where all the videos are. Past videos, current videos. Check it out and let us know what you think. Yeah. Yeah. I'm out of here. Take care.